it's Judy Klock at Stampin' with Crafty Klock. Thanks so much for stopping by my YouTube channel to check out my latest video. I hope that you like what I have in store for you. Ready? Let's go. Hey Stampers, Judy Klock here at Stampin' with Crafty Klock. Thanks so much for swinging by tonight. I hope that everyone's having a good week. Don't forget to go ahead and leave me a like or a heart or say a hello, just so I know you're here and I can enter you in for the drawing for the 2 cards. Today we're going to be working, with a really fun set. A really fun set called Hey Chick. This was actually a celebration set, I think back in like 2017, 2018, and it was so popular that they actually brought it back. And they also have another one that says, Hey Birthday Chick, that sort of coordinates with this one and is more birthday themed. But tonight we're going to be working with the Hey Chick. And we're going to start out with a really simple stamping card. It really is just stamps, inks, and paper. I haven't done anything else. So if you're new to stamping, this is something that you could really do and be very successful with. I did color it a little bit with some of our markers, and you can either use our Stampin' Right markers or our alcohol markers. But this is going to be a really easy card to do. And then we've stepped it up a bit and we've added some embossing and some punching and some embellishments. And it's hard to tell, but there is Wink of Stella on those little funny birds. I love this bird. I don't know why. I just think it's so cute. So these are our 2 cards for the evening. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with our simple stamping card. And this is just going to be Petal Pink. It's 8.5 by 5.5. and scored at 4 1/4. I have here a piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 4, and we're going to go ahead and put that on the inside. And this is just going to be a sort of all-purpose card. You could certainly make this one as an Easter card with Easter coming up. I couldn't find my Easter stamps today, so that is why I did not turn this into an Easter card. I know they're here somewhere, but as you may or may not know, we're moving in about a month. So I've kind of started packing up some stuff and I'm in a bit of a state of flux right now. Then I have a piece of our, this is, I believe, Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper. We're going to use it on the solid green side. This is Just Jade. This is 3.5 by 5.5. And then I have one here. I'm sorry, this is 3 by 5.5. And this one is 2 3/4 or 2.5 by 5.5. Is that 2? I think it is 2.5. Hang on, let me check. Yes, this is 2.5 by 5.5. So 3 by 5.5 and 2.5 by 5.5. So let's go ahead and we're going to stamp this little fun walking cracked egg. I think he's so cute. So I want to stamp 5. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to stamp one in approximately the center, give or take. And then I'm just going to stamp 2 on each side of him. And there's really no rhyme or reason for how I'm doing this. I'm really just eyeballing it. But we've got our little row of 5 walking eggs. And I'm just going to come in with some of my Stampin' Right markers. I'm sorry, my Stampin' Blends markers, and I'm just going to quickly color them in. I'm not going to really take a lot of time. It's a little bit of a small space, so we don't need much, but I think it really is a fun little card. That was Daffodil Delight. I've got some Balmy Blue here, and next I think we're going to go with some Petal Pink. Ooh. Okay, I think I put some Petal Pink in the middle to pull in that Petal Pink from our card base. Okay, and then I've got some, what is this, Light Mint Macron. I wanted to go with Just Jade, but I think I'm with the Light Mint Macron. And we'll just fill him in. And then we're going to get a little bit of our purple. Now don't forget our 2019-2021 in colors are retiring at the end of May. So if you want those colors, you will have to get them before then. Rococo Rose is almost out. They're going to order some more, but when that stock runs out, they're not going to be replacing it. So we're going to say goodbye to Pretty Peacock, Rococo Rose, Terracotta Tile, Seaside Spray, and I'm forgetting one. I don't remember which one it was. The name escapes me right now. Oh, Purple Posy. That was it. Purple Posy is the other one that will be going away. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the You're a Good Egg. Oh, that's Have a Happy Day. Where is my You're a Good Egg little stamp? I didn't put the right one on my little block. I tried to be so ready. Here we go. You're a good egg. And you could just put this wherever you want. I'm just going to put it right down here in the bottom left. And then we're now ready to assemble the front of our card. See, I told you this is going to be really quick, really simple, but it's good for beginners. And if you don't have Stampin' Blends, you can color them with watercolor pencils. You can color them with Stampin' Write markers. Or if you have a blender pen and our ink pads, I'll show you on the next card how you can use our blender pens and our ink pads to also color, because that's what we're going to do on our next card. And there you have it. Our simple stamping card, just stamps, ink, and paper. So that's it for card number 1. Let's go on to our more detailed card. So I have here, this is Pacific Point. It is, again, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I just need to burnish that just a bit. I have for a piece on the inside, Basic White. That is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's the wrong one. Yikes, I'm grabbing the wrong tools tonight. I use my big ATG or advanced tape gun when I'm making massive amounts of cards for swaps. It lasts a lot longer. I don't always have to reload. I was working on some swaps earlier that I have to get in the mail. Okay, so now we have that. Then I took a piece of Daffodil Delight and I ran it through the Pinewood Planks 3D embossing folder. I really like that embossing folder. I don't know why. I like it. So I used it. Okay. I don't know why this sometimes gives me a fit when I go to put it on the embossed pieces. Okay. There we go. And this is kind of came outside. There we go. Yikes, I am having a rough day with this. Okay, there we go, better. Then I have another piece of Bermuda Bay. This one is 3.5 by 3.5 inch square. I have here a piece of Basic White that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and we're going to work with this one first. And then I have another piece of Basic White for our label. This is 3/4 of an inch by about 3 inches before I trimmed off the ends with our lovely labels Pick-a-Punch. So we're going to use that. But for right now, we're going to take our little one and I'm going to stamp in the middle, Hey Chick, in our Pacific Point. Getting my Bermudas and my Pacifics messed up. Okay, so now we've got Hey Chick. Then I have my little funky friend here, which I think is so funny with the hairdo. And we're going to partially stamp him. So I don't really need to ink up the whole stamp because I really just want the top half of him. And I'm just going to start by stamping him all around. Okay. He's just going to be our little feathered friend here. Okay, there we go. So now we've got our little feathered friend, and now I want to add some color to him. So I'm going to take one of my little blocks and I'm going to just ink it up on my ink pad. So I actually am just transferring some of the ink onto the clear block. Now, I want to make sure that all my color is off. So if you have a blender pen, just make sure, rub it on the paper a few times. That will get off any residual color that might be on there. And I'm just going to pick up some of this ink and I'm just going to start coloring in. Okay, it's gonna go quick because I'm not going to be real careful It's just sort of a general kind of add little blops of color there. And we're just going to move on. I'm going to do some over here for these feathers. And you can ink up whatever you want. So it's going to be all different shades of blue. Some will be darker, some will be lighter, because we're just going to pick up and work with whatever is on our blender pen. Okay, so this is another good way where if you don't have the markers and you want to add some color, this is a really good way to do it. The blender pens are a set of 3 for $12. So if you don't want to spend, you know, I think it's like $30 for all 10 markers in a particular color family, you can buy some blender pens and, you know, you can reuse them with different colors. But this is a great way to sort of extend your coloring methods without before you invest in a lot of different Stampin' blends, or, you know, you could do colored pencils. I think colored pencils might be a little bit longer for this. I just feel like it would take a lot longer to do this. As you can see, we're going through this pretty quickly. So what do you all think? Has anybody tried this before? I really do like this way of kind of coloring in just a little bit. Again, just going to get some of those, like the tail feathers that are down there. Ooh, that's a lot of tail feathers there. Okay. Again, I'm just going to skip around. I know I have 2 more to get to. And this will dry pretty quick. It doesn't take a long time to dry. And I know it's not really looking like much now. And I'm sure you're probably like, oh, that just doesn't look great. And the first time I did it, I'm like, yeah, I'm not really happy with it. But then kind of once you put it all together, it just kind of works. Sometimes when you look at it in bits and pieces, it doesn't really look like much. But then when you put it all together, you're like, hey, that's not so bad. Okay. So now I'm going to move that out. I'm going to take here my Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take another block, another clear block. I really don't want that big one. Let's see if I can get a smaller one. There we go. I need more size A blocks. I don't have a lot. Okay, so now I have my Daffodil Delight on there. Again, I'm just going to make sure I have a clean tip. And we're going to color some of the chicken body. And I'm being a little bit careful about not going right around the beak, because I am going to come in with a Stampin' Right marker and just kind of give that beak a little bit of an orange tint to it. Okay, so this is, again, just a quick way of adding a little bit more color. And I'm tying in the colors that we used on our card. We had the Bermuda Bay and the Daffodil Delight on there. So we're kind of keeping it in the same color family. We're going to throw in a splash of pumpkin pie when we use that marker. And there we go. So let's take our marker. I have just the brush tip on the marker, and I'm just going to really just add a little tiny bit of color to those little beaks. And it's not really going to be a lot, but it's just enough to kind of make it a little bit of a contrast. It's a very small area, and we got some yellow on there, and that's okay. All right, so now we're done. Let me just close up my ink pads, because y'all know I'm a big slob when it comes to my ink pads. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add this to our blue. And you'll notice I did protect my work surface with some scrap paper, because I knew that I wasn't going to be stamping on the full cardstock. So I always try to put a sheet of scrap paper underneath when I know that I'm going to be stamping off my cardstock. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And again, I think it went by pretty quick. It didn't really take us a very long time to get this done, but I think we've added just enough color. Okay, we're going to put our Hey Chick right there. Now, I took the Happy Birthday from the Fine Arts floral set, and I'm going to stamp a Happy Birthday. And again, that is a photopolymer stamp, so I'm going to pull in my Stampin' Pierce mat, and I just want to stamp a Happy Birthday. And again, I'm going to adhere this with some dimensionals. Okay. And then we're going to come back in. We're going to add a little bit of bling. Everything we do, every layer and every little thing we do adds more elements to it. So we're going to add some, ooh, I can't pick it up. There we go. I thought I had it picked up. Okay, we're going to add one on each point of our label. The little sucker got away. And then I do have a little ink blot there. So I'm going to go ahead and add one kind of right there and help hide that ink blot. Whenever there's a mistake, you can hide it with a ribbon or a gem or something. And then if you want to, just for a little bit more pizzazz, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to brush some Wink of Stella on the crazy hair. Just on the blue crazy hair. Maybe some of the tail feathers. Not much. Almost out. I got to order more. I hope everybody took advantage of the free shipping yesterday. That's always nice when you can place an order and not have to pay shipping. I love it. That's why Amazon Prime gets a lot of my business. Okay. Oh, come on, Winky. I don't want to end up with a big blop on there, but I do want to put on just a little bit. All right. Oops, see, there we go. That was that big blop that I didn't want to get on there. Okay. There we go. Now my wink is coming out. Okay, and that's it. We're done. That is our 2 cards for this evening. A really simple stamping card with just stamps, inks, and paper. We didn't add any embellishments. And then we stepped it up with some embossing, some embellishment, some punching, and some coloring. That's it for me tonight. I hope you all had a great time. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you right here next Thursday at Stampin' with Crafty Klock. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.